Hi folks, welcome to Chalk and Smile. In this video, we will be looking at the summary of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Macbeth is a tragedy by William Shakespeare. It delves into the themes of ambition, guilt, and the corrupting influence of unchecked power. The play begins with three witches on a desolate heath who prophesize that Macbeth, a general in the Scottish army, will soon become the Thane of Cawdor and eventually the King of Scotland. They also predict that Banquo, Macbeth's close friend and fellow general, will father a line of kings, although he will never be one himself. Shortly after the witches vanish, Macbeth learns that King Duncan has indeed made him the Thane of Cawdor as a reward for his military victories, making the first part of the witch's prophecy come true. Spurred by the witch's prediction and his growing ambition, Macbeth writes to his wife, Lady Macbeth, informing her of the news. Lady Macbeth, a ruthless and manipulative figure, immediately seizes on the idea of killing King Duncan to expedite Macbeth's rise to power. When Duncan visits their castle, Macbeth hesitates, wrestling with his conscience. However, Lady Macbeth ridicules his fear and goads him into carrying out the murder. That night, Macbeth kills Duncan in his sleep, and Lady Macbeth helps frame Duncan's guards for the crime. Following Duncan's death, his sons Malcolm and Donalbain flee Scotland, fearing for their lives. With them gone and the suspicion falling elsewhere, Macbeth is crowned king. However, his reign is far from peaceful. Guilt over the murders and paranoia about maintaining his power begins to plague Macbeth. He remembers the witches' prophecies that Banquo's descendants will inherit the throne and sees Banquo as a threat. To secure his position, Macbeth orders the murder of Banquo and his son Fleance. While Banquo is killed, Fleance manages to escape. At the banquet that night, Macbeth is tormented by a vision of Banquo's ghost, which only he can see. His increasingly erratic behavior alarms his guests and stirs suspicion among the Scottish lords. Meanwhile, Lady Macbeth also begins to suffer from intense guilt and psychological distress, which is evidenced by her sleepwalking and compulsively washing her hands to get rid of imagined bloodstains. In his desperation to maintain power, Macbeth visits the witches again, seeking more assurances. They give him three cryptic warnings. First, to beware of Macduff. Second, that no man born of a woman will harm him. And third, that he will remain safe until Burnham Woods come to Dunsinane Hills. With a false sense of security, Macbeth grows more tyrannical. Fearing Macduff's threat, he orders the slaughter of Macduff's family. Macduff, devastated by the news, joins forces with Malcolm, who raises an army in England to reclaim his father's throne. They march towards Macbeth's stronghold at Dunsinane. As the army advances, soldiers cut branches from Burnham Wood to disguise their numbers, fulfilling the second prophecy of the witches. Inside the castle, Macbeth learns that Lady Macbeth has died, likely by a suicide, as she could no longer bear the weight of her guilt. Though shaken, Macbeth clings to the witches' prophecies that no man born of a woman can harm him. However, in the final confrontation, Macduff reveals that he was born by a caesarean section, that is not a natural birth, thus not technically born of a woman. In the ensuing battle, Macduff kills Macbeth. With Macbeth's death, Malcolm is declared king, bringing peace to Scotland. The play ends with the restoration of order, but the tragedy of Macbeth's downfall serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the destructive nature of ambition and moral corruption. And that was the video on Summary of Macbeth. For more such videos, do subscribe to Chalk and Smile. Thanks for watching.